Life doesn't wait for us to feel ready. It doesn't care about your fears, doubts, or excuses. The truth is, you will never be completely prepared for the journey ahead. And that's okay. What matters is that you make the decision to begin, despite the uncertainty. Because change doesn't happen by chance. It happens when we choose to take that first step, even when the path is unclear. Right now, I want you to think about the dreams and goals that have been whispering in your heart. What if today was the day you decided to stop waiting for perfect circumstances? What if today you took action? The universe doesn't work in maybes or somedays. It responds to the bold, to those who move, even when the way seems foggy. We all have within us the ability to turn our lives around, to shift the course of our futures. But that power lies in one thing: action. Not tomorrow, not next week, but right now. Let go of what's been holding you back and step into the person you are meant to become. Change begins the moment you decide to take charge of your story. Today is the day you begin, not tomorrow, not when you feel ready. It starts now, in this moment. You don't need to wait for the perfect time because, truthfully, the perfect time might never come. Life doesn't follow a script. It doesn't give us a roadmap of comfort and guarantees. It only offers us the chance to act. You have the power, right here, right now, to take one bold step toward your destiny. The world will try to tell you that you're not enough, that you're too young, too old, too inexperienced. But those voices don't matter. What matters is that you make the choice to step forward. You're not defined by the doubts others place on you, nor the ones you place on yourself. You're defined by what you do next. So, I ask you today, commit. Commit to your goals. Commit to your dreams. And commit to your own growth. The path won't always be easy, but it will always be worth it. In the struggle, you will find your strength. In the failure, you will find your wisdom. And in every small victory along the way, you will build momentum. It's not the grand achievements that make a life extraordinary. It's the relentless, daily effort, the consistent push forward despite the obstacles. Here's my promise to you. If you take action today, if you take that first step, no matter how unsure you may feel, you will see change. Not in a day, not in a week, but in time. Your life will begin to shift. Doors will start to open, and opportunities will start to flow in. The universe rewards those who are brave enough to move forward. The only way to fail is to not try at all. Now, I know that it's easy to get lost in the noise of the world, to feel overwhelmed by the demands of life. But listen carefully. Success is not for the talented few. It's for those who don't give up. You might be uncertain now, but that's okay. Doubt is a natural part of the process, but it doesn't have to control you. Every great person, every story of triumph has been built on a foundation of overcoming doubt, fear, and hardship. Now, let's take a moment to reflect on the timeless wisdom that can guide us on our journey. The Bible is filled with stories of people who faced impossible odds, who doubted their own strength, yet went on to achieve greatness. Their stories remind us that no matter where we start or how difficult the road may seem, victory is always possible when we trust in God's plan and take that first step forward. Consider Moses. He was a man who, by all earthly standards, should never have led an entire nation to freedom. He was reluctant, filled with self-doubt, and even questioned his ability to speak. But God had a plan for him. In Exodus 4, when Moses argued that he wasn't the right man for the job, God responded, "Who gave human beings their mouths? Who makes them deaf or mute? Who gives them sight or makes them blind? Is it not I, the Lord?" What a powerful reminder that God equips us with what we need, even when we feel we lack everything. Moses did not need to be perfect. He only needed to step into what was being asked of him. And so do you. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to have all the answers or know every step. You just need to trust that God has already equipped you for the journey ahead. He has already placed everything you need within you to fulfill the purpose He has set for you. Think also of Esther, a young woman, unlikely to be chosen as queen, yet called for such a time as this. In the face of danger, she stepped forward with faith and courage, risking her life to save her people. Esther didn't know what the outcome would be, but she trusted that if she did her part, God would do the rest. "If I perish, she said, but she still took action. She did not wait for the perfect opportunity. She made her moment perfect by stepping forward in faith. How often do we wait for everything to align, for the stars to shine in perfect harmony before we take action? But faith isn't waiting for things to be easy. Faith is moving forward when it's hard, trusting that you are exactly where you need to be, and that everything will work together for good, as promised in Romans 8, verse 28. And then there's David, a young shepherd boy who faced the mighty Goliath, armed with nothing but a slingshot and his faith in God. His victory didn't come from strength or skill. It came from trust. Trust in the God who had been with him in the past and would be with him in the battle ahead. Goliath was a giant, and David was a boy. But David didn't focus on the giant's size. He focused on the power of his God. You may feel small in the face of your challenges, like David standing before Goliath. But remember, it is not your strength, but the strength of God that will carry you through. Like David, you don't need to know how the battle will end. You just need to believe that God has already given you the victory, even before you fight. As you go forward in your life today, take heart in these biblical examples. They were all ordinary people who stepped into extraordinary circumstances by the power of their faith and the willingness to act. God does not call the equipped. He equips the called. You are not alone in this journey. Now, it's your turn. Step forward with faith. Step forward with confidence. And know that every step you take is a step toward the person you are meant to be. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Create it. Embrace the challenge. Trust in God. And know that your breakthrough is just one step away. Take action today. Your future self will thank you for it. There comes a moment in everyone's life when things begin to shift. It's a subtle change at first. Sometimes it's a shift in your perspective. Other times, it's the kind of internal shift that seems to shake the very core of who you are. But it is in these moments of change, when everything you thought you knew about yourself or the world begins to unravel, that the truth starts to reveal itself. The truth is, transformation is never easy. It's uncomfortable. It forces us to confront the parts of ourselves that we have buried, our fears, our insecurities, and our doubts. But this discomfort is the very thing that leads us to growth. When we push through the hard times, when we keep walking through the darkness, we find the light waiting for us on the other side. Think of the caterpillar, struggling inside the cocoon, seemingly trapped. It may feel like it will never break free, but in that struggle, the transformation is happening. It's the same with us. The struggle, the pain, and the challenges are part of the process that shapes us into something greater. You might not see it now, but as you keep going, you will emerge stronger, wiser, and more capable than you ever imagined. What is often hidden in times of hardship is the truth about who you are. You may not realize it yet, but inside you is an unshakable strength that has been quietly growing all along. The truth is, you are capable of more than you think. The situation you find yourself in, the doubts that cloud your mind, they are all part of the journey toward revealing your greatness. In the Bible, the story of Job is one of the most powerful examples of transformation. Job lost everything, his wealth, his health, and his family. But through it all, he never gave up on his faith. He questioned, he struggled, but ultimately, Job was transformed. He was restored to even greater blessings than before. Job's transformation was not just about the return of his material wealth, but about the unveiling of a deeper truth, that his strength, his faith, and his perseverance were far more valuable than anything he had lost. The same is true for you. What you are going through right now might seem like a loss, but in reality, it's a setup for something even greater. When the layers peel back, when the truth is revealed, you will see that this moment is not the end. It is the beginning of your next great chapter. You are being prepared for the person you are becoming. Your transformation is happening right now, so don't be afraid of the process. Embrace it, trust it, and know that the best version of yourself is emerging from the inside out. There is a powerful force that holds many people back from experiencing true peace and joy in their lives, and that is envy. Envy can be a silent killer. It feeds on comparison and can make you feel like you're not enough, like you'll never have what others have, or achieve what others have achieved. But here's the truth. Envy is a thief. It steals your joy, your peace, and your potential. How many times have you looked at someone else's success and felt a pang of jealousy? How often have you compared your life to theirs, thinking that somehow they've got it all figured out and you don't? The danger in this is not just the jealousy. It's the way envy keeps you from focusing on your own journey. When you are consumed by what others have, you lose sight of the blessings and opportunities in your own life. You miss the unique path that is meant just for you. But here's the beautiful truth. You don't have to stay in that place of comparison. You don't have to let envy control your life. Because, just like the caterpillar that eventually becomes a butterfly, you too can be transformed. And it starts with a shift in perspective. The key to moving from envy to restoration is gratitude. When you start focusing on what you have, your strengths, your opportunities, your blessings, you begin to reclaim your power. Instead of being distracted by what others are doing, you shift your focus to what you are doing. You start to see your own journey as one of incredible value. In the Bible, Joseph's story is a powerful example of how God can take moments of envy and turn them into a story of restoration. Joseph's brothers, jealous of him, sold him into slavery. He was abandoned, rejected, and left with nothing. But God had a plan for Joseph. Through hardship, Joseph rose to power. And in the end, he was able to restore his relationship with his brothers. The very ones who had envied him and betrayed him were now in need of his help. Joseph could have let bitterness and envy control his heart. He could have sought revenge, but instead, he chose forgiveness. And through that choice, he was restored not only in his position, but in his heart. When you choose to move from envy to gratitude, from bitterness to forgiveness, you are embracing the process of restoration. You are choosing to focus on what is right in your own life, rather than what is wrong. And in doing so, you open the door for your own restoration to take place. Just like Joseph, your story is not defined by those who have wronged you or by the envy that once held you back. Your story is defined by the choices you make today, the choice to rise, to forgive, and to move forward in faith. The truth is, your restoration is not dependent on the actions of others. It's dependent on your willingness to let go of what holds you back and to embrace the life you are meant to lead. Don't let envy steal your joy any longer. Instead, let it be the catalyst for change. Let it remind you that you are on a unique journey, one that has been carefully crafted for you, and only you. As you move forward, remember that transformation and restoration are not one-time events. They are continuous processes. You will face challenges. You will struggle. But if you choose gratitude, choose forgiveness, and choose to focus on your own path, you will continue to be transformed. Your story, just like Job's, just like Joseph's, is still being written, and the best chapters are yet to come. The journey from envy to restoration is not easy, but it is worth it. It requires you to dig deep, to confront the things inside you that are holding you back, and to choose a new path. But I promise you this, if you make that choice, you will be transformed. The restoration you seek is already in progress. All you have to do is step into it with faith, gratitude, and courage. Let today be the day you leave behind the chains of envy. Let today be the day you step into your transformation. You are not defined by what others have or what you lack. You are defined by the choices you make and the strength you find within yourself. And with every choice to rise, you become more of who you were always meant to be. Criticism is something that everyone encounters on their journey to success. Whether it's from others who don't understand your vision, or from your own inner voice telling you that you're not good enough. Criticism can be one of the most challenging obstacles to overcome. But the truth is, criticism is often a reflection of the person delivering it, not a true measure of your worth or potential. And while it can sting, it doesn't have to define you. In fact, it can fuel you. Imagine a world where no one ever spoke against you. A world where every decision you made was met with applause and praise. It sounds like a dream, doesn't it? But here's the reality. If you are always trying to please everyone, you will never fully step into your purpose. True growth happens when you can stand firm in the face of criticism and keep moving forward with clarity and conviction. Jesus himself faced intense criticism. He was misunderstood, judged, and even mocked. But despite the scorn, he never wavered from his mission. He kept his eyes on the purpose that was greater than any temporary setback or attack. His critics couldn't stop his message. His faith couldn't be shaken by the words of those who didn't believe in his vision. The same applies to you. You have a purpose, a calling, and a dream that is bigger than the voices of doubt. Criticism might try to slow you down or even stop you, but it can't hold you back unless you let it. You were designed for greatness, and every time you rise above the negativity and push toward your goal, you become more aligned with the person you were created to be. The key to overcoming criticism is clarity of purpose. When you know why you're doing what you're doing, nothing can shake you. Nothing can distract you. You are anchored in something much stronger than temporary opinions. Your purpose is a beacon, guiding you even when the road gets rough. Think about the pioneers who forged new paths in history, whether they were leaders in social change, entrepreneurs who started from nothing, or scientists who discovered life-changing breakthroughs. Each one of them faced incredible criticism, but they didn't allow those voices to stop them. Instead, they used the criticism as fuel to propel them forward. They understood that their vision was worth more than the fleeting discomfort of opposition. Now, let's talk about building a foundation that stands strong in the face of everything life throws at you. The foundation upon which you build your life should not be based on the opinions of others or the fleeting winds of culture. It must be rooted in something eternal, something that cannot be shaken. And that foundation is found in the values of God. God's values, love, faith, humility, integrity, and perseverance are the bedrock of a life that can withstand anything. When you build your life on these principles, you are creating a solid ground for everything else to stand upon. These values are not just concepts to be admired from afar. They are powerful tools that can transform your mindset, your actions, and your relationships. Jesus exemplified each of these values during his time on earth. His life was a demonstration of love in action, love that didn't just talk, but served, healed, and sacrificed. He showed unwavering faith in God's plan, even when it led him to the cross. He displayed humility, not seeking his own glory, but the good of others. And through his trials, he displayed perseverance, knowing that the reward would far outweigh the suffering. When we align ourselves with these values, we are living according to a higher standard. We are building a life that is not only sustainable, but one that is capable of weathering the storms of life. It's easy to get caught up in the pursuit of material wealth, status, or approval, but none of those things will provide the foundation you need for lasting fulfillment. True success comes when you build your life around God's values, because those values are eternal. They will never fail you. Imagine a life built on love, where every decision you make is filtered through the lens of kindness and compassion. Picture a life where integrity guides your actions, and faith gives you the strength to face the challenges ahead. This is not a distant dream. It is a reality that is possible when you choose to make God's values the cornerstone of your life. In the Bible, Jesus gives us the parable of the wise and foolish builders. Matthew 7 verses 24 to 27. The wise builder is the one who builds their house on the rock, on a solid foundation. The foolish builder, on the other hand, builds their house on sand. And when the storms come, the house falls. The storms of life are inevitable. Challenges, criticism, setbacks, they are all part of the journey. But when you build your life on the unshakable foundation of God's values, you can stand firm, even when the storm rages. The beauty of building on God's values is that they are timeless. They transcend trends, they transcend circumstances, and they transcend the temporary. When the world around you changes, when things seem uncertain, You can hold fast to the truth that God's word and his principles remain the same. When you combine the strength of overcoming criticism with the power of building your life on God's values, you become unstoppable. You begin to walk with confidence, knowing that you are aligned with something greater than yourself. Your life becomes a reflection of God's truth, and the world around you cannot help but take notice. Purpose is not something you find by accident. It is something that is revealed to you through your relationship with God. As you continue to grow in faith and understanding, your purpose becomes clearer. It is in serving others, in doing good, and in living according to God's will that your true purpose is unlocked. Purpose doesn't come from pursuing success for its own sake. It comes from seeking to live a life that honors God, a life that reflects His love, His kindness, and His truth. When you commit to this higher calling, you will find fulfillment in ways you never imagined. As we come to the end of this journey together, let me leave you with one final thought. Your life is a masterpiece in the making. Every moment you've lived, every challenge you've faced, and every victory you've won has been shaping you into the person you are meant to become. But here's the truth you must hold close to your heart. This is only the beginning. In life, it's easy to get caught up in what's wrong, what's lacking, or what could be better. The world often wants to focus on what you haven't achieved yet, or what you've failed to do. But I'm here to remind you that you are enough right now. You don't need to wait for the perfect moment, the ideal conditions, or someone else's approval to step into the fullness of your purpose. You are not defined by your setbacks. You are not defined by the times you stumbled or fell. You are defined by your ability to get back up, stronger, wiser, and more determined than ever before. Every step forward, no matter how small, is a step closer to the person God has called you to be. The journey may be difficult, but it is worth it. The road may be long, but it is full of opportunities for growth, for impact, and for transformation. What you are building is not just a career, or a reputation, or an image. It is a legacy. It is a life lived with purpose. And when you live with purpose, you are living for something far greater than yourself. There will be days when doubt tries to creep in. There will be moments when the world's noise grows louder than your inner voice. But when that happens, remember this: you are not walking this path alone. The one who created you, who saw your potential before you even knew it yourself, is walking with you. He has equipped you with everything you need to succeed. And as long as you stay aligned with His plan, you will never be off course. So, I challenge you today, stand firm. Keep moving forward. Don't let the opinions of others, the hurdles of life, or the fears within you stop you from becoming the person you were born to be. Your purpose is unstoppable when you anchor it in God's truth and align every step with His will. You are capable. You are worthy. You are unstoppable. Now is your time. Step into your greatness. Step into your destiny. And remember, the best is yet to come.